Hello. So it's us again. Me and Jen and Red Hood. We're hosting it tonight, and we have an awesome guest, Drew, from Canto, one of the creators of Canto. And we're missing our Laura. She's a little under the weather, but hopefully we'll have her back maybe by Tuesday, hopefully. Um, but yeah, tonight we have Drew. How are you, Drew?
Hi guys, I'm good. How about you?
Good, good. A little
Good.
nervous.
Don't worry, I'm still hungover from St. Patrick's Day, so
Oh, nice. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yesterday was my birthday's my brother's birthday yesterday too. So happy birthday to my brother Jason. um, but I mean I can't drink. Did you guys drink? Had a little green beer.
something like that.
Well,
Did you guys pee green?
I had to work.
No,
I had to go to work early, man. They're like,
Oh,
hell no. That's a young man sport right there.
Mm.
uh,
Britt and I drove 2 hours to Wisconsin to get this. It's called Kops, Kopps. It's near Milwaukee. They do custard, special custard. Every day they do different flavors, but once a year, only once a year, they do a Bailey's Irish cream, vanilla, coffee, and Irish whiskey custard. So after work, we just beelined it, and
Wow.
it was
2 hours. 2 hours for a custard?
mm-hmm.
That would be a hell of a custard.
Right? And yeah, happy
long
birthday
time.
to him. It was his birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday, June.
Yeah. Yeah, so okay, let's get started with our nerd news. Let me see. Okay. Let me
I like that picture.
thank you.
The nerd news?
Okay, Jen. How did I do it?
I think we
Okay,
did.
it was like this.
Yeah, and then we do.
No way. There it is. Yay, I did it. I feel so proud. So we always start our show with our nerd news. So we first one is George Lopez joins the cast of Blue Beetle. He's gonna play uh Uncle. Oh my God, what was his name? Uncle Rudy.
Man, he's going to be in the movie?
Yes.
Man,
Yeah.
it's going to suck now, dude.
Oh, what?
Damn it, dude.
What?
I mean, it's slated for August 18th, 2023.
Yeah.
I mean, he's playing not the main character, right? He's like a
Yeah.
family member.
Yeah. I like
Yuck.
him. I like stop hating. I like George Lopez.
Poor George
Pass.
Lopez.
Pass.
Right? I like listening
I'll
to his
stick to the
podcast.
comment. Pass.
Oh, stop it. I don't know. I think we'll see. I mean,
It's gonna be an ensemble.
he's pretty well known on the Hispanic community, and I feel like since he's Mexican and Blue Beetle's Mexican, right? So I mean, I think it's pretty cool. For me, I think it's pretty cool. I like his stand up. So.
I mean,
Why did they got to put Hispanics and make us bugs, you know?
Shit, think about that.
They might as well call it blue roach.
Blue cucaracha. No. It's well, I mean, come on, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Ant-Man. I think Blue Beetle's cooler than Ant-Man.
Yeah, remember? You remember? Yeah, there you go. You see?
You don't believe that.
Yeah. So this one I was just telling Jen about. That I can't remember what's gonna be her name of the character, but I was telling Jen that she is gay in the Buzz Lightyear, and they had removed a kiss or the sound of the kiss. You know, from her girlfriend, or I don't know if it's wife or girlfriend, and they have removed it. But I guess people from Pixar, they were kind of complaining like they need to be inclusive. So they added it back. So I mean, I didn't even know that they have removed it. But I mean, I guess that's nice. You know,
I mean,
that
it's
they
2022. Like, just just make the film,
Yeah.
be an artist, and don't go back on what your full intention was. Like, I think
and I
everybody's grown up. Like, I think like this isn't even a thing.
yeah, like I mean,
Stupid.
It, they're playing to China. That's what that's
mm,
about.
Yeah.
That
and I
that
think
they're trying to walk the line between
Mm.
isolating a multi-billion-dollar market away from them, but
mhm.
ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think it also like where I read something about Florida. Something I was reading a little bit about it, and it
Oh,
also because of something about Florida complaining and
that
but I mean, come on, like
Florida's
it's like
greatest export is Florida, man. I'm not sure I'm really concerned about Florida's opinion on this.
right. So it
Sorry,
I
people
mean,
from Florida.
so it's cool. Like I mean, that's good that they added it. And I mean, I know some people that complain because like, oh, it's a kids movie or whatever. But I mean, they're gonna. It's. I feel like it's not like back in the day. Like now it's a little bit. It's normal now. Like
yeah.
I mean, I don't think kids. I know my son. He doesn't see it like, what's going on. And I
The
didn't
the
have to
con
explain anything.
the concept of that is preposterous. It's just it's Pixar. They didn't make a porno.
Yeah.
No kid is being
Exactly.
subjected to watching porn or anything.
Yeah.
It's a Pixar movie with relationships. The
Mm-hmm.
world
Yeah.
you living over it.
Yeah, right. So yeah, there it is.
Well
So
said. Well
now,
said.
yeah, now Miss Marvel. Did you guys watch the new trailer that came out?
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
What?
Give me. Oh, sorry. Oh my goodness, what's happening here? Give me 1 second. Okay, you guys saw that. Okay, sorry.
We're still able to see the poster. I saw it. I liked it. I think we talked about 7 months ago on Comic Book Women about the change of the powers and how I think we agreed that it would have been cool because yes, it was close to Mr. Fantastic, but she can kind of change her molecules to like chameleon herself, and her turning into Kale Danvers, like the white blonde hair, and then being like, no, I'm okay with being myself, is going to be taken away. But the trailer still seems really cool, at least.
Yeah, so it's she's not gonna be like what was it
The Embiggen,
yeah, like that she's gonna have that for the
the
powers
bracelets.
and the bracelets and stuff like that in human, I think, or something like that I was reading.
Yeah, there's going to be no Terrigen Mist.
No, I think this show's going to be a hit, and honestly, I think it's going to blow everybody out of the water. And people may think I'm a little crazy, but like,
You're not
they're not going to get this wrong, and there's this show will resonate with a lot of little girls that want to be a superhero or be a grown up quicker. Like this show's gonna do extremely well.
Yeah.
like
How long is the show running for?
I think it's 5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah, I
Six
think it's six
episodes, yeah.
episodes.
Okay.
Just like the other one. And yeah, like they're gonna get more like like Red Hood said, I feel like the demographic is a little bit different, more towards like the younger audience. And it's kind of cool, like also to kind of get them into comics, like if they're not reading comics yet, they get to watch the show, and it's like hopefully be like, oh, I want to read more about her, let me go to the comic shop or the library or something like that.
Yeah, they had that Marvel Tales that came out a little bit ago.
Oh
That-
yeah, they did. Yeah,
that's
that was
cool.
a good book. The
Yeah,
cover
yeah.
was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think it's okay. So before we get
Hey,
into
can you put that comment back up where it said Red Hood is right?
what you want your wife to
Hey, thanks,
read
Mark
it?
Slack. Thanks, Mark Slack. It's a great name, Mark Slack.
Well, we still have
Shout out, Mark
one-
Slack.
We have what? Oh
It's
yeah, sorry, one more. Sorry. Good thing. Yeah. Thank you, Jen. Thank you for helping. So this one, well, as we all know, Batman came out this weekend. Am I right?
but
Last weekend.
Last
like
Last
weekend.
weekend? Oh, damn it. So it's been a week? 2 weeks? Holy
two,
crap.
two.
I feel like my days are off. I thought it came out this weekend. Okay. Oh, holy
It's like two,
moly.
2 weeks.
It's just that people have been talking about it so much. I still haven't. I'm not gonna be able to go anytime soon to the theater, but um, I
It'll
feel
be
like
on HBO Max in a couple of
yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
So that's no. Well, now they moved it to April 23rd, which is my due date. It's gonna be
Oh wow.
releasing on HBO. Yeah, they're gonna do like the 45 days uh before it streams into HBO. So they just released that, and it was gonna be on April 19th, but then they moved it to April 23rd.
You could
So
watch it on Twitter illegally. You
You
know.
can.
you know why my mom was like showing
I'm
me
not
the other
saying
day.
I would do that.
Well, I was telling Lucy
It-
as she's giving birth, she could just, hey, it's
Stream
HBO
it.
Max.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't watch it on Twitter. It is a very pretty movie that deserves something bigger than a screen about yay big.
No,
Right?
I'm
Yeah.
always amazed how like some people figure out a way how to like pirate that and put it in and put it in that little like thing. I
How did
just
they
like
not stop it? I don't know. My mom was telling me today that, like, I mean, I know she has told me before, but there's this group that she watches. What she speaks Spanish, so she watches like movies, scary movies in Spanish. And today, like, she opened up her phone and it was like Annabelle right there, and it's in Spanish. I'm like, how come Facebook doesn't take it down? Like, I can't believe they're
Oh.
letting stream movies like that. I wonder if it's because it's in Spanish.
Maybe.
yeah, if it's in
No,
Spanish, it doesn't count.
I don't know. Like, how can they get away with
Wait.
it? Yeah, I don't know. It's a whole different thing, right? So, okay, before we continue and get into talk about Andrew, I just want to mention that today's show, is sponsored by Cover Price, and you can use our code Nirvana14 for 30 days, unlimited cover price for only 99 cents. New members only. Sorry. And as a basic member only. Um, and also, you can have Bird City Comics. They gave us a code to use Nirvana for 15% off of your purchase, excluding FOC and private collections. So we have that all in our description down below, and we also added Drew's information, his Instagram and his website for his art. So if you guys wanna check it out. I'm running out of breath. I'm all nervous. I don't know why. Okay, so let's get to it. Drew, tell us what's happening.
books and Canto.
So this is
Canto Tales of the Unnamed World. So, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
So basically, the kind of schedule that David and I have laid out in the last couple of years is to do a main arc and then to do a mini series in between numbered arcs. So we just wrapped up volume 3, Lionhearted, and this will be our mini series between volume 3 and volume 4, which will be our last volume of the book. And yeah, we're coming to the end here, but we brought along some friends for this one. So this is actually going to be an anthology of sorts. There are going to be 3 other artists who are going to be doing stories in it. It's going to be Jorge Corona from Batgirl, Leanna Cagnes,
Nice.
and Sean Daly. Uh,
Awesome.
so I want to say issue one is the way this is going to work is that I'm basically drawing the base story for
Mhm.
everybody, and then everybody will draw their individual smaller stories. So
Mm.
issue one, I'm pretty sure is Jorge and Leanna, and with me doing the base, and then issue two will continue that base story with Sean doing a short story and me doing a short story in addition to the base story.
That's awesome. And you guys kind of did well. You guys did also want like a one shot in between, uh, the volumes too. So it's not the first time you guys do this, right?
Yeah, no, this is all kind of spun out of Canto and the Clockwork Fairies. The original idea was to try and build in some time for me with Clockwork Fairies, and all it did was make more work for me because it turns out that if I have to draw everything, then it's not really building in any time. It's just giving me more work. Um, but that's how we ended up with like City of Giants and Sebastian coming in and handling most of the art duties with me kind of just having to do design work there. And now this is there are stories in here that are things that I wanted to do for a very long time, and we looked for a place to do these types of stories, and this is obviously going to, in theory, be our last chance to tell something like this. So we decided this is probably the moment to take advantage of it.
That's awesome. And obviously, are you introducing new characters in this run?
Yep, they're going to be a bunch of new characters. Some old characters are coming back. I don't really want to give away too much of it.
Oh, we talked about this before last time that we had you. Did your book, The House? That was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
The
Glenn is saying, to repeat for people who are driving, Glenn Howard said, do you appreciate the work you did in your book, The House? It was spectacular and would love to see a miniseries, show, or film.
Me too. I would also like to see a miniseries or show from it. Preferably not one that was ripped off on Netflix.
Oh.
I appreciate that, Glenn. And actually, David and I are gearing up for a horror story that we're doing together that he actually just turned in the script for. So
Cool.
No.
we're working out the logistics of getting it done right now. It's pretty good. It's something that originally I was going to write on my own, and he found out about it and was like, we should definitely do this together.
Oh, he can't get enough of you.
No, he's stuck with me forever, whether he likes it or not. I'm basically
awesome.
dumb.
So that's pretty cool that you guys have a script already, So maybe kind of like what happened with Stray Dogs, it could be bought before the book comes out, right? So something like that could happen.
We'll see. I don't want to give away a lot about it just yet because we still have to make the announcement, but part of it is designed to kind of buck the system as far as how distribution works within comics. It's looking for another avenue to distribute and work with retailers. So that when we get a little closer to really having to promote it, I'm sure we're both going to be back on here to talk about it. But like, really, it's an experiment for us to see kind of what we can do to look for new avenues that don't necessarily include Diamond, but also keep the relationships for the retailers going.
That's good. Yeah, well, definitely you guys gonna have to. Hopefully, we're the first one, so we can like be like, ha.
Hey, Drew. Like the first time I saw the Canto book, I remember picking it up off the rack, and like I don't know who some of your early influences are, but like I've been in comics for a long time, and like I saw the book, and it reminded me of Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, like Johann Vasquez art, kind of.
Okay.
his kind of twisted kind of way. But that was first impression, and
Hmm.
then it seemed like the art got better, as the book went along.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there was like if it was made issue 1, issue 2, if it was made all at the together, or if there was a break in between. But the art seemed to get better as the series went on.
It, yeah, I that there's definitely truth to that. That's a range of things happening. That ranges from me just kind of endlessly striving to get better. So there's always a push to get myself better, but also just me figuring out how to draw these characters. There's definitely a slight difference between the the even from the beginning of volume 1 to the end of volume 1, you see me start to figure out how these characters move a bit more. And by volume 2, by the end of volume 1 and into volume 2, everything is more or less locked in
Right.
terms of the design for everybody. It's just a matter of how I progressively get better at what I'm doing. Uh, but that's definitely, you know the volumes are all kind of drawn in order. So once I'm committed, I basically, this is all I'll do for about a year, and that's kind of just how the schedule lines up.
So I press books, right, on the side. That's my side hustle.
No,
And
so you know all about the Canto crease.
oh yeah, like came close to figuring it out. Like I pressed out a couple of guys'
Oh,
books and knocked out that crease. So
yeah, I did see
yeah.
that. Who was it was
Oh, that
somebody. It
was
was
Josh Pee Wee.
oh
So
yes,
from
yes.
International Comics. So I pressed that big freaking crease out of
It
but had a
it's
lot of
brutal.
practice. Yeah.
It I somebody pressed some of my books out for me. I only sent them, like, they were nice enough to do it for free, and I only sent them six because I kind of got the basic rundown of what it took to do it, and it was bonkers. Like, if
Yep.
you don't know how to do it,
Don't do it.
you will mess these books up so fast.
Oh yeah. It's the paper is so and you can talk to any presser.
Hmm.
That book is the equalizer. That's like like in Game of Death where he was going up in the levels. Like
Yeah.
that's the highest level if you're going to press a book. Right.
That I had heard something about, like, dehydration and then like 16 hours on a press and then back
Hell
into
yeah.
dehydrator and then another 20 hours on press.
Yeah,
Insanity.
repeat, rinse,
Yeah.
repeat. So
It's
That's crazy.
why those 9/8 are so hard to come by.
absolutely. Yeah, so
Right.
I mean that's a thing that will make a book legendary with that
Mm,
with just that.
mm,
So you've got the pressing community like wanting cracks at, hey, let me crack that 9.4,
Yeah.
see if I can get a 9.8. And then
yeah.
just the beautiful art and the story. It's just
Story.
Wait,
Yeah.
so you're
yeah.
saying if you send it in with the crease, it'll be a 9.4?
That's what I have, I think. I don't know if I have a
It,
9.6 or a 9 point
it
uh
usually runs between like a 9 and 9.4 is what I've seen, but if it's in really good shape.
You're going to send me yours, right, Lucy?
yeah, I have a CGC one and then I have a raw. So I'll send you the raw.
Okay.
See, because I forgot
It
I had two of them.
Have you ever cracked a slab before, Lucy?
No, well, I don't have that many. I usually don't uh uh slap my books. I like to have them,
It's money too.
and yeah, well, see, like, not so much because of that. I don't know. I just like to have them like that, without getting them CGC, a slap or whatever. I rather just have them, and so I send one, and then my husband loved the story, like what I told him about it and everything, and he bought another full run. And we had that extra issue number one, and we didn't send it to get graded or anything like that. But yeah, right on. I think I'm gonna send it to you so you can let's see if it comes out. That'll be cool.
Oh,
It,
it'll come out.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
that whole situation. When we saw the crease, we were not happy.
I bet.
I can
It,
imagine. Yeah.
we more or less shit our pants, or at
It's
least
not
I
your
did.
fault.
I
It wasn't
don't know
your
if Jamie
fault.
did.
It wasn't your
Um,
fault.
Yeah.
it was bad because you for both of us, you spend so long working towards this, and you spend all of your time kind of screaming into the void, knowing that only a handful of people are actually listening to anything you have to say, and even at best, you get maybe some of them to pay attention. And it was just like we had heard stories that shops were sending the entire run back to Diamond.
Oh
Hmm.
shoot!
No
Really?
way.
Yeah,
Seriously.
because of the damage.
Wow.
I
Um,
never heard that. That's crazy.
yeah,
No, I didn't.
we heard about a few shops doing it. Um,
Dang.
but
Such a
that is
waste.
but
Yeah.
the book just ended up like as a result just hitting this perfect little you know this sweet spot where it became this urban legend, and because it spread through word of mouth, it just made it kind of this commodity to go and hunt down now.
Yeah, I heard the Canadian Canto didn't have the.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a
There
Canadian
it,
Well,
it's more related to how the print run was broken up. So you'll see some first prints from issue 2 have the crease in it, but then there are other issues that don't have it, or other books of issue 2 that don't have it. So it's really dependent on. It's really kind of when it came out in the printing process.
Also, oh my god, I was gonna say it and it just
have you seen any Canto cosplayers yet?
We haven't. We're waiting. We're waiting.
maybe
We're
this year.
hoping. Cons aren't really back on yet, so hopefully we're through the worst of all of this, and we can kind of get back to cons. It'd be nice. We're hoping. We're hoping for the. We want to see it. We want to see a little kid as Canto or a grown adult as Canto. We're not picky.
You're gonna
So
see one of those sexy cantos.
I'll be weird, but I'll.
Did you ever see? There's an episode. John Oliver said that he saw someone it was a female cosplay as him, and he was like, "This is weird." Like, because it's like it's him. He knows he's not sexy, and he's like, "Okay." But yeah, Canto. Are you gonna
Oh,
do that?
there you go. Mexican canto mariachi version.
There may or may not be a Spanish version of the book coming.
That's cool.
The
Yep.
one thing you see for some people that they got into it late, like it sucks that they you guys didn't. I mean, I don't know if it sucks as good that you couldn't do a second print
Well,
of it, but
so that's actually what the Whatnot print was really for.
okay.
The Whatnot version, for anyone that doesn't know, Whatnot is basically it's eBay and Instagram Live as an app where people go on as sellers, and there's bidding that the sellers put up an item, people bid on it, they do buy it now, it's that kind of stuff. And Jack DeMeo over at Whatnot, who was a very early supporter for Canto when he was on Simple Man Comics, when he went over there, we were one of the first people that he reached out to, and it was to do a reprint of the first issue.
Ooh,
Mostly so that,
okay.
and we made it a point that, so there were 3 versions of it. There's the trade, a black and white, and a virgin. And the black and white, and so the black and white and virgin were sold as a set with the trade. Those get bid on the app, but when it comes to the trade dress, the just one issue, that we have been pretty steadfast in, we sell that for $10. because we want people to be able to get their hands on an issue 1.
That was
Yeah.
really cool. That was something that I remember you guys saying you really wanted with like Free Comic Book Day, and just never it coming. Like,
we would love to have a dollar reprint of issue 1. The Free Comic Book Day, dollar reprint, whatever. You know, it's something that both David and I are big believers that if you want people to come on to the book again, you need to make it easy for them.
Yeah.
And the trade is great. The trade also costs $20.
Yeah.
I get it if
Yeah.
you're you know, a reader that looks at this and goes, you know, I don't know what this is. It looks cool, but do I really want to drop $20 on it? Like I remember what it was like to be in you know, high school and middle school. I didn't have $20. I had like 50 cents, and it was like, what can I scrounge together?
Is there any way you could do? This is just top of my head. Do you remember the book fair in like elementary schools, Scholastic?
The Scholastic Book Fair.
Is there any way you guys could like work with them?
That's not up to us. We would very much like to, and I can tell you from the original concept of Canto, when I came up with it and shoved it in a drawer for like 6 years, that was so much of what it was designed to do. Like it was so designed to be part of that exact sort of infrastructure to, you know, not only get the regular comic book fans interested in it, but to get kids that interested in it.
Okay. I have a question. I don't know if we had you for this after or it was later when it was announced. Is there any word about this?
So the answer to the question is yes. Their company is Westbrook Studios, who optioned the property. I want to say at the beginning of last year, or actually no, about a year ago now. No updates that I'm allowed to give. I can just tell you we're working on it, and you know, everything is very exciting with it. We're still directly involved with it, and hopefully we're going to have something to share sooner rather than later.
I think last time we had you guys, we did like who we would like to.
Yeah, you were doing fan casting,
right? Yeah, we did. I think I kind of remember. I'm like, I couldn't remember if we did talk about it or we didn't, but we did, and we did the fan casting.
and you all came up with Tom Holland.
Was that
one
Lucy?
of them did? I can't remember. I picked somebody else. I can't remember. We have to check
was
that
it
one.
The kid that played Dustin from Stranger Things?
That
was that the other one?
I think that was one of them. Who did I pick? I picked somebody else.
We'll have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I know I that kind of it reminded me of that. Okay, so we have another one.
For anybody, real quick, because if you're driving and listening, they called me. Bruce asked, "Is it true that Will Smith and Jada, like, oh shoot, it went too far up? Will Smith and Jada's company picked up it as a cartoon." So that's what he was answering that question.
Yeah,
and then what's the next one?
The next one is: have you heard about Twig was being compared to Canto? Any thoughts?
So I actually did a cover for Twig.
Oh, that's coming up in a second.
Okay, hold on.
All right. So I
hold on at this one. Oops. Okay. Well, yeah. We'll go.
It's my small monster. You guys, you figured it out. Okay. Okay. So
go ahead.
A heads up for everybody. So IDW is leaving Diamond, and they're going to Penguin Random House, who will now, they're going with the same route Marvel took. So as of April, ordering for local shops needs to be done through Penguin Random House.
Okay.
Diamond does have it up though, but they have the wrong cover. They've got a whole bunch of incorrect information on it. That is in fact the book. So if they're ordering anything through Diamond related to this book, that is correct. But most ordering will be done through Penguin Random House now.
Yeah.
So if you want to pre-order it, which please do, it helps us out immensely.
Yeah.
Just let your local shop know that
Yeah.
it's now with Penguin.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
so
like FOC will be May.
FOC
Mhm.
will be May,
Uh,
and release will be June sometime. They haven't given us an exact date yet.
okay.
okay,
Yeah, that was when I saw that, I was like,
like
no.
wait
So
a
that's why-
minute.
We saw it this morning too.
Okay,
Do
so
you still own the original art, Drew, for Canto?
I own a bunch of the original art. I've sold a lot of it. The the first issue cover, I won't say who owns it. It is somebody who uh, came on very early and put a lot of financial backing behind us.
mm,
And they bought a lot of art from me, and I'm a big believer in there's certain pieces that if I know that they're going to good homes, then that's what I'd like for them. But he got it at a steal, and he deserved it for what he did for us from the get go.
that's nice. That's nice.
So yeah, this is like just these numbers should still be sort of accurate for the April 221547.
Yeah,
And then the trades do still make great gifts. Like I know $20 is, but like for birthdays, Christmas, it's kind of perfect because you get the
Christmas,
whole right. You get
holidays.
the whole,
I just give comics for the holidays now. Like people that
Yeah,
don't read comics in my life, I go and
Mhm.
find them books that I'm
yeah.
like, try, read, you'll like it.
Yeah, and like you were saying, the tray, like that it's a little bit more pricey. But then again, think about it. If you buy but for birthday or Christmas, think about it. You buying like the whole first volume,
Right.
so you kind of saving money
Mhm, mhm,
buying
mhm.
the tray. I mean, unless they don't know about comics and they know that it's a little bit more pricey. But I think
Yeah.
any book, it's around that same price.
And
So
some stores, like, so this is still before FOC for the trade for volume 3. If you pre-order trades, I would talk to them. Sometimes they give you 12
Yeah.
35%, or wait, trade. So between 12 and 20% off of the
It,
cover. So
yeah, it's
yeah.
usually around there.
Yeah, and I like this. Also, just want to say,
mm,
in my sincere belief that Canto will work great as a video game. Yes,
that'd be super cool.
We've
yes.
had people make sprites of Canto, like old Super NES style.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It actually it
Awesome.
translates over really well.
Oh, nice, nice.
So,
Okay.
I remember the first time I saw the book, right? So I'm telling you that I looked at that book and I go, man, this book, a lot of things go through my head. I'm pretty crazy, but I looked at it and I go, man, this book looks like so odd. It looks important. And so I'm pretty greedy. There was only 2 copies there because they didn't get many copies. So I took them both like a thief. And when I get home, it has the crease. So that's comic book karma. If I would have taken one, it would have been mint. You know what I mean?
Hey,
But
taking two is not bad. If you're taking five, then I
Yeah.
feel then that's yeah, you're a jerk.
no,
But
it's one of those covers
fine.
that like 10, 15 years from now, like
Mhm.
it's just gonna be that cover. Like everybody's gonna remember. Like it's a cover that is gonna stand the test of time. It's
Okay.
such a
Uh,
cool cover.
I will give it to David too. I think I'm
Let's see.
pretty sure this cover was like his idea, or at his insistence, that it was like just Canto, like standing there. Like
Yeah.
he was really insistent about that, and it was definitely the right call.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, it gets you so interested. Yeah, when it came out, like I said, I knew it was coming, and I read like what it was about, and I was like, I need to have this. And yeah, like I bought three, but then one of them it was for somebody from the comic community that I knew. He told me that his store was not getting it, and I remember sending that copy to him. And when it came out, it was already at $20. It was selling
Yeah.
for $20. So I just sent it. I remember sending it to this person. I was like, "Oh, I'll keep two, but here's here's one for you." But yeah, I just love this.
Yeah. Jack
Yeah.
DeMeo and So It's like how like they kept talking about it, and I'm like, I'll pick it up. And then I didn't care about the crease. I was like, that's weird because it was in all of them. I'm like, whatever. You know, you're getting it to read. And then I read it, and then I heard everyone else being like, "What is this crease?" And I'm like, well, because at that point, like, because I feel like
I don't think I ever
I
noticed.
was just like, when you're just a reader, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then later, when you
Yeah.
learn about condition, you're like, oh, this is actually really important.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, but
I also didn't see
that crease adds character to that book now. If you think about it,
Oh
like
yeah.
you want the book with the crease in a way. You know what I mean? Because I mean that's part of the book.
Yeah.
You know, so like if I'm a collector, I want one with the crease and one without the crease.
There you go. So you
It,
see, I'll keep my graded one, and then I'll send you the other one.
eventually it's going to be worth more with the craze.
Yeah, why not? Right?
Yeah.
Because I mean that's the whole urban legend around it, you know? So
Oh yeah, it was it's so weird how that book has kind of developed into its own little thing. Like if you had asked us, you know, at the beginning of all this, oh, do you think your book is going to turn out to be this weird little indie darling that became an urban legend? It's like, no, I don't. I'll be happy if like we get like 5,000 in sales.
oh man, yeah. I mean, like this is a property that like and they mentioned video games, like I could so see like that cover of issue 1 being on a video game, like
Yeah.
and people would play it, you know?
It was this right time, right place.
Yeah.
We looked at it. It helps that David is a massive Wizard of Oz fan and kind of saw what I was going for in the original pitch and made it more palatable than what I would say my original vision for it was. But it just we it was right time, right place. You know, this thing sat in a drawer for probably 3, 4 years before David came along on it, and it was just the original sketch and my little paragraph of what the story was going to be. And by the time we were working on it, we looked at what was out in the industry and we looked at what was on the shelves, and we were like, there's nothing like this here. It's all either any fantasy is dark fantasy and everything else is sci-fi or superhero or dark and gritty. And then even the color palette for that cover was specifically chosen because we knew that this pink and purple was not going to be something that would be, you know, a bunch of books using it, so it would stand out on the shelf.
You know, Todd McFarlane like had the same, you know, he had Spawn, you know, he drew that when he was what 14, 15 years old,
Yeah,
put it in a drawer, and then when he left Marvel, he said, "You know what? Let me go visit my
that,
buddy, you know, and
that's how it
rest is
is.
history." Yeah.
Most creators, if you ask them, are sitting on numerous pitches. Uh, I, on my own, have probably 10 pitches in various states of development. Most will probably never go anywhere.
Don't say
Based
that.
on it's
Yeah.
it's just based on time. It's
Oh,
it's all based on time.
but that's what
A lot of them are for short stories.
but that's what retirement is for. When you retire and you can just put out these one shots, right?
Listen, I'm just trying to leave my job so I can do this full time and draw
Yeah.
more comics. uh, a lot of them are, you know, short stories that are meant to exercise a little bit and do different things and get a break from drawing Canto.
But that's one
But
shots.
yeah, if I do enough of them, I would like to collect them into like one giant book. But you know, that's how it is with these projects. You kind of develop them, and very rarely do they immediately go from, you know, the initial notebook into full development. It's not that uncommon for things to sit around in a drawer for some time before they're revisited.
Real quick,
Like,
they called me
you,
Bruce. Asked where did the name come from? I think we talked about that in the last show, but it's been a while.
That was David's idea. So canto is the terminology for a paragraph in Italian in the original Dante's Inferno poem. So he actually came up with the name and pulled it out of there.
so like Drew, where were you when you like, kind of like were sitting down and go, man, this book is a hit? Like, when did it like hit you? Like, holy shit, like people actually love the book.
San Diego, 2019,
Nice.
which was my first San Diego. Because like anybody, when you're an artist, you're by yourself. Like I've got the dog. The dog is my company, and my social interactions come from having to go to a day job. Yeah, that one. Worst employee ever.
What
It's
the
so
best?
cute.
The best name ever.
I got to win the naming contest in my household.
Oh, so for what was his name? Sorry again.
That's Ripley.
Ripley.
It's a good pooch, man.
Oh,
Who's
yeah.
actually come to visit.
Oh, look.
Say hi, Ripley.
He said, "Y'all talking about me? What's up, man?"
Yeah, exactly. Here she comes.
It's like, I heard you said I was the worst employee. Excuse me?
He said, "Watch your mouth, man. Watch your mouth."
Oh, it's adorable.
So
my
in San
shirt.
Diego, were people coming up to you going like, "Hey, like, could you sign this?" And like, what is that like, man?
Yeah, so like we knew it was a hit, and it came at kind of a really crucial moment for me because I had finished the house. We had done it on Kickstarter, and it did well, but it definitely was like I wasn't getting any traction anywhere. And I kind of made a decision that if this didn't work out, I would probably have to really kind of focus into my day job, and this would always be fun, but to chase it was not going to be realistic.
Yeah, but the fact that you have so many creative ideas, like you could have your own think tank of like.
I had planned on continuing, but it was reaching a point that was like I was going to have to start making some decisions. So even when the book came out and was doing well, it's like, oh, that's cool. Neat. I don't really know how to process that. So when we went to San Diego, they had the San Diego variant, and David was there the day before me, and our editor at the time texted him and was like, the show floor opened up at 6. At 6:20, David gets a text saying, all the books are gone. And David's response was like, for the night? And he's like, no. In 20 minutes, we just sold out of every Canto book.
Dang.
So
okay.
we kind of got an idea of, oh,
that's amazing.
Okay. I don't really know how to process this information. So we were supposed to do a signing, and the two people going before us were Joe Hill and Gabe Rodriguez, who, for anyone who doesn't know, are the creators of Lock and Key.
Mm-hmm.
So they were signing before us, and the person signing at the main booth next to us was Walt Simonson. So I sat here and was like, this sucks. We're going to get like 10 people that are still online for Joe and Gabe who are going to come up to us and be like, are you guys Joe and Gabe? Like, can you sign my Lock and Key book? And to my right is going to be Walt Simonson, who I may as well just give up at this point. This is ridiculous. So we basically corralled all of our friends that were at the con, and we were like, you guys have to come to this signing. So it is not a complete embarrassment for us. They're all like, oh yeah, sure, we'll all come. So we walk up, and all of a sudden I noticed there's like, because we're like shoved into a corner, so we're here and then it's a big pillar right next to us that we can't see around. So we see like 2-3 people. And I peek around the pillar and I realize the line is wrapped around the booth. And I'm like, they're here for Walt, right? And they're like, no, Walt's line is literally bypassing yours. You guys are both wrapped around the booth right now. And the signing just turned into pandemonium. Meanwhile, all of our friends are standing there like, you guys suck. Why'd you even bother? Why are we here?
Oh my god!
Are you serious? Like, you guys have a line around the booth. What is this? But that was like, it was literally, that whole show was everything that you could possibly, like, what every artist like dreams of when they start out doing this kind of thing. And like, none of it was lost on us how lucky we were that we got to have that experience, especially on the back of that. There obviously was no San Diego the following year, but just like how lucky we are that people gravitated towards this book and have supported it the way they have.
Are there any Canto shirts?
There are not, but there may be sooner than you think. Merch, I think, is an actual reality right now. There are going to be announcements coming about that in the next couple months, but there's some good stuff coming.
Cool. Drew,
yeah. So go ahead, Jen.
Oh, just that H&H asked Drew, how did things change for you once Canto hit big?
They honestly, they didn't. Most of, I would say they've kind of started to change for me in the last year or so. I'm definitely kind of getting to have the career I want, where I get to tell the stories I want to tell and not feel like I'm beholden to like go do random Spider-Man annual whatever.
Reshow that. That would be epic.
That's a great idea.
That is a great. I would buy that.
Glenn, I'm stealing your idea.
Yes, do it. I'm sure he'll be happy.
If I get that, I'll be very happy.
Again, if you're driving, Glenn said a Canto hoodie with a helmet would be epic.
That'd be great.
Yes.
But yeah, it definitely has given both David and myself. David's obviously having the career right now that he's having, and he's killing it across the board. But it's given us access and recognition with people that if we go and have a conversation now, we absolutely are taken seriously in a way that I don't think either one of us had before that. And that's really nice to kind of have the respect of your peers at that level.
And then, so in the thumbnail, you can see you wearing a Canto mask. Is that available for to
No, that's actually a mask my dad had made for me.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I thought about it. By the time he sent it over to me, I was like, God damn, we should have done this when we were raging in it. We could have made a killing.
That is true.
Do you still collect, Drew?
A little bit. Hi, can I help you? A little bit.
Like who's your the characters? Who's the artist that kind of influenced you and pushed you and
So my influences are kind of wide ranging as far as comics go. It's a lot of Bill Watterson and Cam Kennedy, who was the artist for Dark Empire. I love Capullo's Batman run. Think it's phenomenal. Tim Sale was a big one for me. I'm trying to think who else is on the shelf back here. Gabe Rodriguez, who when I got to meet him and have basically your idol from that got you back into comics tell you that your book is great is still up there in moments for me. So
good for you, man.
Oh
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I had to ask David, like, did I speak or was I just grinning like an idiot for 10 minutes in front of him?
That's awesome.
But yeah,
And this is,
my influences are pretty wide ranging. I love Walt Simonson stuff, like especially going back to his Thor stuff.
and Jessica, my sister, I will give you the graphic novel for the first one.
There you go. You see? That is so awesome. Um, didn't okay. So now
Uh,
you were mentioning somebody mentioned it, that they were comparing Canto with
It's
Twig.
not.
Twig,
It doesn't
but
seem. It doesn't seem. So from the short stuff that we've, like, I think comicbook.com got 5 pages or 4 pages of it.
Okay.
It seems different, but I feel like in the same ballpark. So
because the little creature and like the whole
it's but it's
travel
cool that you're
adventure.
doing the cover, and it was cool that on your Instagram you got to show the pencils.
Actually, here I'll do you one better. That's the original art for it.
Nice.
Oh wow, look at that.
All LinkedIn.
Wow,
That's
love
cool.
it. That's freaking amazing.
That is a gorgeous piece of work, dude. Like, holy shit, that is awesome.
It's
Yeah.
actually being colored by Vittorio Estone, who's my Canto colorist.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool that you bring the people that you work with to the
Oh yeah,
other stuff.
no,
Like
I
you
Sold.
I keep Vittorio busy as much as I can because I'm worried if I don't, he'll leave me.
Like, how long did a piece like that take?
That came together pretty quick, actually.
Really?
I would say that's maybe start to finish. I don't know, I want to say maybe 16, 17 hours.
Yeah.
Around there.
Oh, and it's for Hive Comics.
Yep.
It's an exclusive for Hive.
Yep.
Ooh.
It's an exclusive for them.
Okay,
So
look, we're
I
gonna need to
actually
message him. Hey, friend.
I haven't read the book yet. They sent out basically a pitch document that was really good. Yeah, I when I saw it, I immediately was like, oh, I can't wait for the comparisons between the two. But I am not going to sit here and ever claim that Scotty Young aped anything from me. That guy is a talent all on his own. He doesn't need a steal from me. But it's interesting to watch because I think when we initially started, there was nothing else like us on the market, and I think that's what really helped us. And in the last couple of years, we've seen other players come into that market now, and it's kind of what I always got taught when I was in college, which is this industry is cyclical. It will always run in circles. So if all ages adventure stuff is what's popular right now and Westerns aren't popular, at some point we will come back around to Westerns being popular. If horror isn't popular for a while, eventually we'll come back around to that. And, that's just kind of how this goes. So I personally think this book looks great. I love the design of the characters. And, I'm not going to complain about there being more indie comics on the shelf, especially from, creators of that caliber.
Yeah, I think, like, because my comicbook.com has, like, if you look under Twig, she had like 5 pages or 4 pages up. You can kind of see it. So just from those 4 pages, I'm like, nah. The fact that it's just in a non-superhero fantasy realm is like something I can really see, and that there's like a smaller character, but that's it.
Yep.
Like you guys, your journey of Canto is going to be different from Twig, right? Like his.
I actually think it looks like kind of a predecessor to Middle West.
Right? A little bit.
That is
a little bit, right?
I kind of got more Middle West vibes from it than anything else. I mean, Middle West is by no means a kid's book. The book is dark, but
yes.
it definitely has like the vibe of that world.
If anything, I feel like if you guys do a $1 number 1, it'd be a good. You get one of Twig, you get one of Canto. It'd be a good, like, because they're just slightly different to where it's like, okay, well, if they don't like a certain type of genre, but it's in the same realm. We might like this one, and like it just be a good set to go together.
All I want is, and this is again was always my hope for Canto, is for the book to create healthy growth within the industry. My goal is to grab. That's actually a horrible way to put it. My goal is to get kids reading very early, because if you get them early, you get them for life with comics. That's I don't want to see this industry, shrink. And I'm personally not really a fan of watching my friends set up GoFundMe accounts for whenever they have a problem, because nobody ever was able to take advantage of their labors. And part of that is the industry needing to grow. So if I can produce books that I am passionate about and I love, then, and that help create healthy growth for, the retailers and give the readers books that they enjoy, then that's what I really want to do.
And Glenn says, yeah, you with Canto helped my son Stuart reading more. Thank you, sir.
Yay! That's awesome.
So, like, you pitched this to a couple of different companies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you talked shit to the ones that like passed on it?
I have never talked shit to any of them. I can't imagine that any of them are sitting around going, "This was a great idea."
Would you just pass by with the book like in front of them?
But you would think now, like, and you brought up a good point, is like to be taken serious, like, so, like, people like better recognize, like, if this guy pitches me something again, I better not pass up on it,
Right. That's really what changed for me, is that I personally feel like I have the confidence to walk into the room now and be able to get a fair shake on whatever I'm pitching. It may not be for who I'm pitching to. They may pass on it because they've got something too similar or it doesn't fit into what they're looking for. And I never begrudge anybody that gives me a straight answer like that. What I always hated was being in the kill pile with everybody else, where it was just, here's the wood chipper, let's see what comes out the other end.
But that, I never realized how important, because superheroes, like, I mean, it's done to death, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so as a creator, like, are you looking at it and you go, and you start looking at other books, man, this doesn't look like anything else out there, it's got a chance. I mean, are you even thinking that, or you're just creating,
No, we were thinking that. We knew. I mean, neither David or myself is looking to do creator owned in the superhero genre. It's too crowded. I don't want to compete against Batman, because I know I'm going to lose. Invincible.
Well, it depends on who's writing it. So.
Invincible is kind of the extraordinarily rare exception to that rule. But like for me, I have enough ideas that I'm excited about that I can kind of pick and choose where I want to strategically put them for my play of time, and I can give it a chance. I agree for it, but ultimately it's up to leadership to come on board and that they want more of it.
Before I ask Glenn's question, okay, so
Jeff Smith spent years trying to get Bone into syndication, and it never happened. Now Bone is one of the most lauded books of all time. It's something that I would probably do as an experiment, just to kind of like have fun with it. But as far as like going into papers, I think we're kind of in the medium that we're going to stay in.
Gotcha. And then, so Glenn Howard asked, do you have a favorite? Oh, let me try to pop it up. Do you have a favorite sketching pen / paper, graphic design students? So I always like to ask.
Oh, I have that guy. So that's for my Wacom. And then I use
Wait, what
Clip
was that?
Studio. That's my pen for my Cintiq.
What is it?
It's like a digital pen.
Oh, okay.
I use that, and I use Clip Studio Paint, so that's how I do all my penciling. And then for any big pile of pens, for any of my physical inking, I use this guy, which is there we go, Pentel brush pen.
Cool.
Nice. That's awesome. So, I mean,
No, yeah, I mean the story you told about like the Comic-Con, like that just blows me away that it just happened that quickly, and that's electric, man.
It
Like
it
that's
it
awesome.
it was some very key moment decisions where I kind of realized that David and I were making a lot of small decisions, but we were making them correctly.
Hmm.
We were both in Emerald City uh, before San Diego. So I don't even remember when Emerald City was. I think November of 2018 or something like that. And Canto got announced through Bleeding Cool. And we're at the show. We're like, yes, we've arrived. This is going to make a splash. And it was a complete dud. And we hit the panic button. Neither one of us was in a good spot. And then it turned out that David had met a guy named Steven Scott, who has gone on to be one of the writers for They Called Us Enemy. But Steven was in PR at the time, and we hired him out of our own pocket to do the publicity for Canto. And I'm fairly convinced that between him and Simple Man, that's the reason this book got off the ground. Was they championed it, they championed it hard, and us being willing to put our own money down on finding somebody who wasn't just going to promote it but believed in what we were doing, that's really what was a game changer for us.
That is cool. Brian, we're talking about Brian Simpleman Comics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that guy is like, he's awesome.
He can pick them too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what he does. Oh yeah, he's one of the best.
But we've been really fortunate. Steven's obviously gone on to do incredible things with George, and he left us in the very capable hands of Melissa Mazzaros, who, if you don't know who Melissa is, she is probably one of the best PR people in comics, and an absolute rock star across the board, and is now a literal rock star on her own because she had a book come out recently that's a biography of her life. So we've just been really fortunate to be surrounded by people that don't let us do a whole lot of talking and are really good at their jobs.
You're good at talking.
No, she's awesome. I think we had her before we had you guys. We interviewed her. She was pregnant at the time with her twins. She was awesome.
It was like right after the fire. It was a lot going on.
Melissa's awesome. She's great.
And then go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if you want to buy a Canto in a 9.8, you better get your checkbook out.
It's on the cheaper side right now too. The most expensive we saw one go for, I want to say, was $2,100 for the Nick Robles cover.
Damn.
I think the A cover we saw go for $19.
At its height, yeah.
At its height.
Well, I mean, definitely, if you can follow. I mean, what's stopping you guys from following Drew
Follow me.
right on Instagram? Because this is how we got this image. Was if you follow Drew, sometimes they, artists will post,
They give you some cornbread. They give you a little
Yeah.
bit of cornbread,
right, and you're like, oh, this is the pencils. Okay.
I will give you the entire meal if you guys follow me. I can't promise it's good, but I will provide a meal.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like on our phone, it's both Nearing Nerdvana and this. So on my own personal one, I was like, wait, I thought I was following. I'm like, oh, Nearing Nirvana is following. Okay, so I gotta go and follow. Okay, there we go. And then your .com.
Yeah, so artofdrewzucker.com is where I post most of the original art. There's a lot of stuff up there from, I don't even know what I've sorted through there anymore. I think there's a lot of stuff from Hollow Men, and there's stuff from the front end of Lionhearted. So there's stuff right now that I'm hanging on to for obvious reasons. But there's going to be more to come. And if you are on Whatnot, follow me at Art of Drew Zucker, because that's very quickly becoming.
I will add that to the. I'll add that to the description. I will look for it and add it.
It's very quickly becoming where I do a lot of selling, and I am selling a lot of key issues at relatively cheap prices.
So how close are you to quitting your day job?
We're getting really close.
That's good, man. Good for you.
I wrestle with going back and forth about leaving because I've been in that industry since I was 18.
Wait, what do you do? You mind me asking?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
I'm sorry?
You mind me asking? What do you do?
I work for New York City Fire Department as an EMT.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I spent 11 years as a volunteer fireman. I worked for a private ambulance company for a year and a half, and then eventually ended up at FDNY. But it's taken a toll over the years, and there is definitely I'm being flooded with enough work that it's beginning to make sense that it's time that if it's possible that I can step away, that I probably should.
Can you do part-time?
No, if I could, I would have gone part-time a long time ago.
Wow.
That's right, because I now remember, because especially like during these past 2 years, like
I was literally going to work, dealing with COVID, and coming home and drawing. Like that was my life for about 6 months.
H&H is asking, can you repeat your whatnot? Oh, we were also gonna put.
I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna add it right now. And it's at Art of Drew Zucker. So it's the same as his Instagram. So, but I will add it to the description right now.
You know what a world we live in, Drew. Like, like it's a good thing we've got comic books to escape a little bit. It's just unreal.
No,
God bless you, man.
Thank you. Canto really kind of hit at the right moment when everything was happening, and it was not lost on us that we kind of felt like it took on a different meaning for people. At least for me, it kept me sane because it kept me busy when I wasn't at work, because all that was doing was making me crazy. So rather than drinking my sorrows away, which I watched a lot of my friends do, I just came home and drew until my eyes were bleeding.
Wow. Well, I mean, good stuff, man. Keep it going, dude. Like
now that I've ended this on an absolute downer.
No, man, it's good stuff. I mean, like, people would kill to be able to quit their jobs, and I'm glad you're in the position where you have that on the horizon.
I will give this as a tease out, but it hopefully this news is coming sometime next week. There's going to be an announcement coming that is pretty major for me, so that's really where the game changer is coming from, and we're gonna see where all that leads.
Holy shit, dude! So you're gonna tell us like offline, at the end of the show?
I'll tell you offline.
Okay. All right.
Ooh.
See you guys later.
I hope you
Bye, everybody.
I hope you guys get jealous. I just added to the description, so you will be able to find him in like I said, it's the same name as his Instagram, which is also in the description. So you guys will find it there. But yeah, it
And
actually
guys, seriously, if you're not using Whatnot yet, I would really recommend it. It's
yeah,
kind of
we're there.
it's kind of becoming like this. If you want to see where the next major shift for this industry is, it's coming from them.
Yeah, it's definitely like a TikTok meets eBay. So there's times that like people will post, now they're doing screenshots, and I'm like, oh, that book went for how much? Oh, I should have
Yep.
been freaking like watching and gotten that book at a good deal.
It's leveling the playing field for what I break this industry down into basically 4 tiers for the publishers. There's tier 1, Marvel, DC, Image, and then 2 is like Dark Horse, IDW, Boom. And then you have your behemoths, your Scout, your Aftershock in tier 3, and then all the really small guys in tier 4. I would say Whatnot is probably leveling the playing field for tier 3 more than anything else has in the last 10 years.
Yeah, every Monday I go live on my auctions.
Yeah.
I keep meaning
Do
to
you
do that.
have a specific day, or you just go randomly, or do you pick a day when you're not busy to go live?
I kind of go randomly, but I try and give people enough heads up that I'm doing it so that nobody feels like they got gypped out of it. So, and I usually need some prep time on it anyways, but they're usually, it's kind of based around what stock I've got.
Yeah,
then,
I mean, it's a great platform to
Mm-hmm.
introduce new books, new
Mm-hmm.
creators. I mean, we haven't even seen where this is ultimately going to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's bringing in fans from other collecting categories, which is really cool to see. So you're getting those guys that only collected Pokemon, but the main thing I've seen is that it's people who are now have some expendable income and maybe collected, say, Pokemon. They're remembering, well, this Canto looks like a Pokemon. What is this? Let me look. Or they're, I read Spider-Man growing up. Oh, okay, I'll just jump in here and see what's what. And now they're spending money on comics, and it's I'm a fan of whatever gets more people into this medium, and they seem to be doing a good job with it.
Yeah, and you know what I like too. Sorry, Jen.
Okay.
What I like that you're able to interact with your fans, and the fans can interact with the artists and stuff like that. I do like that they bring in artists like to the auctions, because now you don't really have to wait till the cons to be able to meet them and be able to ask questions and everything.
Yep.
You can talk to them through the app, and it feels more personal, I believe.
They figured out how to do something that I was trying to work out on an individual level with shops, and I couldn't get any of them to go for it, which was to do like a signing, and then anyone that participated in the signing, the shop would pick a day, and we would just do like a Zoom hangout with everybody that participated in the signing, because it's not. We've only got, David and I only have so much time and so many resources that coming to every Comic-Con, every shop, it's not feasible. We'll never get anything done. So this was a way to kind of split the difference on it. Not everybody can go to New York. Not everybody can make it to San Diego. That's true. I really like that it's a way for us to get to interact with like the fan base.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like another creator, Garrett Gunn, like I was watching his Whatnot, and so like I bought a book, and I typed in there, can you do a remark? And he's, sure, I'll do a remark. And and it's like, damn, I don't need to go to a con. It's like a con right here.
Aside from the fact that Garrett is, I love that guy. It's like hanging out with the world's biggest teddy bear.
Yes.
That's kind of the magic of this whole thing, is that we I don't know if do you know Skeff on the platform?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes,
I
yes we
his
do.
books.
No,
Yeah, we do.
Skep was streaming at New York, and he had one of the cantos, and Jack tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, can you just kind of go over there and like sign the book real quick?" And I just kind of like popped in randomly on his stream while they were bidding on it,
That's
and
cool.
I remarked the book, and David came over and signed it, and you saw, aside from watching the price on it go up exponentially, which was really cool, you saw kind of the power of it as a platform, that you really can do, like, you get to have these fun little moments in it. I had David enter into a giveaway with 40 something people, and David won.
I did see
Nice.
that. I remember that. I did see that happening. It was funny.
I mean, that's kind of, you can't make that up.
Yeah,
That
that's
is cool.
awesome. Is there anything else that you want to let people know before we end with our Vanna of the week?
Yeah, so Hive Comics will have the Twig cover. That's coming. I'm not sure when that's going to be available, but I know that colored art needs to be in by the 29th, so we should have something to show people very soon. Pre-order Canto Tales from the Unnamed World. That'll be out in June. Issue 2 should be out in July. And if you haven't read it yet, volumes 1 and 2 of Canto are available. Volume 3 should be coming in June. And then there should be a collected volume of City of Giants and Tales of the Unnamed World in November.
Mm.
And if you're looking for horror, the Dark Horse edition of The House is available anywhere at this point.
Yeah, I think initials are due soon for the Canto Tales of the Unnamed World soon. So like, I don't like, ever since I started working in a comic book store, I never knew about initials before. To me, it was always FOC, right? But initials are like the first push. Comic book stores will say like, "Hey, this many."
You should be. I'm looking at it today. You should be able to pre-order it on Penguin Random House.
Yeah.
So if you go to your shop, they should be able to have access to it.
Yeah, I would tell your comic book store like tomorrow, because I know they're closed now because 9/23 here in Chicago. But when they're open, let them know like, "Hey, I want." Do you know if there's going to be one cover or two covers for?
There are going to be two covers.
In like cover A, cover B, or the incentive?
Cover A, cover B.
Cool. So let me want both.
Yeah.
And there may or may not be a few retailer exclusives coming.
Oh, okay. So make sure to be following you guys. Canto has its own page. Yeah. So make sure to follow Canto. I'm sure you guys will announce it there too, right?
Yep. Okay. And follow David. He'll also be sharing stuff out.
Yes, cool. Yes. Well,
and then
thank you so much.
And then thank you for having me, guys.
And then the Vanna is super tied into.
Let's see. Read it, Jen.
So it's Glinda the Good Witch. You've always had the power, my dear. You just have to learn it for yourself.
Oh, that's
David.
Nice.
David would be very proud as the Wizard of Oz nerd that he is.
I know he. That's so funny.
Well, because it's something that's kind of tied into we did earlier, the Turning Red, right? The coming of age story is, and I think that's a little bit of Canto and a little probably of Twig. Like that's the whole journey, is finding out that you have the power, because you come from a place of like, you're just not aware of it. You're like, no, I need this, and this, and you're like, you kind of already got it.
Yeah.
And friends.
Yes. Well, again, thank you so much, and we'll have you soon whenever your other project is out.
I'll bring David back with me next time.
You allowed him to come back.
Yes, you can listen to us bicker like the old married couple that we appear to be.
Yeah, it seems like like artists and writers, like when you build that relationship, and like like it takes for some people it takes a while for them to connect with either or, but when you've got it, like you guys got to stay together,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate that the writers I've worked with have also become very dear friends. So I'm more or less stuck with these people forever.
And things like that, it always seems to translate into the quality of the work.
Hmm.
I mean, when
Yeah.
I mean, like, Cates and Stegman, for most recently, or like, Klaus Janson and Frank Miller,
Yeah.
it's like that David Gibbons, Alan Moore type of thing. Like,
Yeah.
you can't have one
It-
without the other. They're both
it-
great, but like they're super phenomenal together.
these things are a lot of work to do. It's fun, but they are a lot of work. And I personally don't really feel like going on that journey with somebody that I don't particularly get along with, because I
Yeah.
feel like it just would breed resentment. So, it definitely helps that you're hanging out with your friends.
I didn't do this. Sorry. I'm like trying to.
Oh
That's
my
all.
God.
All over the place.
Well, yeah,
You
we did
could
a
end up last on the screen. Like,
No,
no.
I'm
so
like trying to figure it out. Trying to put
I'm
everybody.
running nearing Nirvana.
I was trying to put everybody on the screen. I'm gonna
Wait,
leave it alone because
is
I
it
didn't know how
is
to
it
do
this?
it.
No, that's not that.
No.
That's not it. Is it this? There we
There,
go.
yeah, there you go.
there. I was trying to do that. I didn't know. Okay, we're learning.
You got this.
But thank you. Okay, so now I do have to go back to this one.
I'm getting dizzy, man.
Sorry.
I'm getting a photosynthesis seizure.
Oh, geez.
Folks, folks at home, don't blink rapidly. You may pass out.
Warning. No, okay, well, again, thank you guys, everybody, and in the chat. Thank you, everybody. Make sure to give us a thumbs up. Leave your comments. If you're watching on the replay, or if not, just go and leave us some comments and thumbs ups and share it out. And
We should do a Drew Zucker spotlight.
yes, well, you have to watch that on a Tuesday if you haven't watched our Tuesday shows.
I don't have a spotlight.
And make sure to follow us, and Bird City Comics, make sure to sign up to their emails alerts for exclusives, and also they have a code in Nirvana for 15% off. Make sure to do all that stuff. And yes, we're gonna do a spotlight on you. I'll send you the link, and
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about you. So yeah. Okay, guys. Well, let me see if I do this right again. Outro.
That-
Get ready, guys. Bye.